Hello, sir.
Oh, there. How are you?
I am A-OK.
Beauty. Proud of you.
How about yourself?
You know, this guy at work that every time you ask him that, you go, Cliff, how are you? And he always responds with, if it was any better, I'd have to be two people. I'm not quite there today, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Is there actually a guy who says that?
Yeah, Cliff, every time. Cliff, how are you, man? He's like, "Pff, if it was any better, I'd have to be two people. He's got a thick Northern Carolina or South Carolina accent. It's awesome. Comes out way better with a Carolina accent.
Have you asked him what's going good in his life?
It's just,
He's just that kind
just
of
that
guy.
guy. Just rolls.
That's cool.
Yeah. Happy to be there.
I might be going to North Carolina next year.
You should look up my buddy Mickey. He lives down there,
Hey, where's Charlotte?
North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going there.
Maybe I'll go with you.
Well, there you go.
See Mickey.
There you go.
I haven't seen him since the fall.
Mickey, Cliff?
No, Cliff lives in South Carolina. Mickey lives in
Oh,
North Carolina.
gotcha.
Yeah. Shout out to Cliff and Mickey.
Hey,
Carolinans.
I'm talking like 2027, February 2027. Around this time, February 2027.
Well, around the time we're recording this,
Yes,
who knows when the person's listening to it?
this is true.
Dear listener, could be August.
Could be 2030.
In which case you've been there. How was it? Did you enjoy it? A look into the future.
Oh, there was something I was going to say. I can't remember.
What? Super weird.
I know, I'm so bad.
You're like a half an inch away from hitting your head on that shelf.
I know, and I often do.
I know. That's why I'm warning you. Before you do a major proclamation with a head whip, and then you're on the IR.
And there's something else I was going to add to this too. Like this, what I was just going to say just came up now, but it like comes and goes.
Just fleeting, hey?
Yeah.
Your thoughts are like hummingbirds.
And
Beautiful when they arrive, but they don't stick around. See, I did that on the fly. I thought of that.
a little bit mean though.
Oh yeah, they're
I've
territorial.
stopped putting the hummingbird thing out because they just fight. And there's one that will swoop down at me if I'm sitting too close to it.
I thought you stopped it because of the wasps, because those guys are jerks.
No, I stopped it because of the fighting hummingbird.
You know, we could put it out further away from the house so that we don't have to get in the crossfire.
I suppose, but then they're fighting and territorial and fighting other hummingbirds.
So you think it's only because of that? Like they don't do that behavior in the rest of nature?
Well,
It's just around our house. So why rob ourselves of the joy of seeing hummingbirds just because they're jerks close to us?
I suppose so.
Just saying.
No, the wasp problem was something else, like a wasp nest underneath our
There was a lot that year.
thing or something.
Wasps are jerks.
Yeah.
Big time. Apparently there was a ton of snow at the cabin.
Hmm.
Yeah, my meteorologist friend has sent me reports where apparently there's a ton of snow.
Be good for skiing, Bernie.
Would be.
Never. Oh yeah, maybe once I've gone to Fernie when I was younger, when we were younger.
It took us side by side.
Fun.
It was covered in snow.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So how is this batch of sourdough? I'm still not there. I'm still disappointed.
Still chasing that dragon, hey?
And then I should have just had a plain piece of toast because it is good enough just to have plain toast.
Yeah.
But I made a peanut butter grilled cheese. It was actually delicious, but I feel like I wasted the bread.
You needed to say actually in front of it, which tells me that people aren't convinced it's delicious.
It is very delicious. I highly recommend, dear listener, peanut butter grilled cheese sandwich. Speaking of, we are going through an insane amount of peanut butter.
I've eased off. I've eased off.
Hopped on that.
Yeah, I've eased off the past few days because it was getting out of control.
But see how good it is?
Yeah, but
Can't make fun of me.
It doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, oh, my tummy hurts. I better stop eating it. You're like, oh, my tummy hurts. I'm going to dig deeper in the jar and see if that makes me feel better.
Because it's so good.
Not good enough. Not good enough for that noise.
So it does hurt your stomach too.
I have too much of it, yeah.
Okay, so it's not just me.
No, but again, I have the common sense to back off. Like, oh, I shouldn't eat this much. I'm going to stop. And you're like, nope, nope, screw that. I'm not going to let pain rob me of the joy of eating peanut butter.
Because I will. I'll say, okay, that's enough. Okay, just one more. Oh, but it's so good. Okay, one more.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's the emotional pain of, oh, why did I have so much peanut butter? I don't even know why I went in the kitchen. It was so late. I wasn't going to eat anything. And then it's like, oh, my tummy doesn't feel well because of all the peanut butter.
And then I'm up. And that's part of and then I don't sleep great. It's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you see the cycle?
I do, but I
How
just
do you break the cycle?
not buy peanut butter.
Okay, so we've done that, and then I get in trouble for not buying peanut butter,
Yeah,
or you just go to Costco and be like, I'm just gonna get peanut butter, and then it's gone in 4 days.
I know. I know. Even when I go traveling, I'm like, hey, I'm not going to get peanut butter.
Yeah, and
But
what's the first thing you get when you get there?
first night there,
Yeah,
yeah, I get.
100%.
And then I go through probably 4 or 5 jars
Yeah,
in a week.
yeah, it's not good.
Four or five small jars. Those Costco ones, it usually takes me a few days to get through those. But we have been. We've been hammering through
Mhm.
Costco ones. Anyway, I don't know how to phrase today's question.
Well, just start slowly. Andy, why are you so awesome? That was well phrased.
Let's hear this. Why are you so awesome, Andrew?
Just am. Full stop. See, by answering that, people have to fill in the blanks for me. I don't have to ruin their facade.
Why would you say you're awesome?
Because funny. I'm a good in the room. I think we've talked about this before. I'm good in the room.
What does that mean?
Yeah, that's when you're not that great at things. Like, so the term is like from, let's say, hockey, right? You got your superstars, you got your guys that are just amazing, and then you got guys that are good in the room, right? They're not great on the ice, but they're good in the room. That's me right here. Good in the room.
You are funny. You are a great people person.
Good in the room. See, it applies. It applies. Yeah. But figuratively and literally, I'm not good on the ice. Like, I'm awful. I'm a bad hockey player. Love the game, understand it, not good at it.
You tried playing. Why did you ever give it up?
Because I hated 11 o'clock ice times in DeWinton.
Oh, yeah. Can you
Tuesday
not get,
nights.
can you not get better?
Not unless you're 80 years old and you're one of the old timers. Because they've got the 4 o'clocks and the 6 o'clocks because they've had those ice times for decades. And someone dies and a dude just takes it over and they keep rolling. So yeah, I got tired of it. Plus my knee was really bad then.
Yeah.
I was struggling to get up and down the ice.
Does Brian still play?
Yeah, he plays in a different league. Like but he's been playing with the same team since he left the one we were on.
So it was a while ago, but I thought it's helpful maybe just to bring awareness. And I'm sure some of the listeners have kiddos maybe that are curious about things, but our first, well, s- s- grade grade school
Hmm.
shooting in Canada.
Well, yeah,
Because
yeah.
all the others were like Polytech, right? The Tabor one, was that in a school?
So
In high school?
yeah, but it's a rare occurrence regardless.
Yeah.
It's very rare. Yeah,
And it was a trans individual, trans woman, right?
yeah.
Who, and I just thought, and I've been working with more and more families where kids are quite curious, whether it's around sexuality, their attraction, their gender. We've got family friends whose kids are changing pronouns and changing their names
Hmm.
and things like that. So I thought it might just be interesting to go through maybe some of the I'll quiz you, see what you know. Maybe will put you into that pressure,
I was
but
gonna say, oh man, okay.
no,
Apparently today's the day I get canceled. Let's do this.
no, no, no. We'll go through some of the definitions. Have you ever heard of the gender unicorn?
No.
Okay, well, I'll put it in the show notes, but this is a good one just for parents, I think, to see. So it kind of goes through gender identity. So I'll just give some of the definitions. So gender identity, your internal sense of being male, female, or maybe neither, or maybe both.
Hmm.
Everyone has a gender identity. So for transgender folks, their sex assigned at birth and their own internal sense of gender identity are not the same.
Right.
So gender identity. Gender expression, feminine, masculine, other.
Hmm.
So that's their physical manifestation of their gender identity, how they're dressing and doing their hair and things like that.
Yeah.
Sex assigned at birth, I think we all know that.
Yeah.
Just based on anatomy, hormones, intersex. So male, female, intersex, or another sex based on a combination. Physically attracted to, that's our sexual orientation. Sexual and romantic emotional attraction can be a variety of factors, but not limited to gender identity, gender expression, and sex assigned at birth. And then emotionally attracted to. That's who we're emotionally attracted to. So I'll put that in the show notes. But I thought it would be helpful to go through some of definitions just so that we can be up. Because I think one of the big things, whoops, we're in a really small space, with all of our kids is being able to validate. And I know that there's a lot of families that I've been talking to. Absolutely not. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the big problem is not feeling heard, not being validated. And we're essentially minimizing their very identity for some of these kids. And I think it's good for us to be knowledgeable, even if, our kids' friends or or teachers. Actually, I've got one family where they have a trans female teacher and they're really coming to grips with this, right? And so as our world is evolving and we're being exposed to more and more people, I do think that this kind of thing is helpful. I don't know. Should I go through it? Like, how do you think would be best? Or should I just give it as a resource? Or
Yeah, I mean, let's go through it. I think that probably makes the most sense to kind of talk about it.
Okay. So cis, you know what cisgender is?
Yes. Maybe not. I think I got an idea of it, but it's like I've heard the term cis male to refer to someone that is just
You're cis male, I'm cis female.
yeah, which is like
we exclusively identify with our sex assigned at birth.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all it is. Yeah. So transgender. So anyone who does not identify or exclusively identify with their sex assigned at birth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't exclusively identify.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not indicative of gender expression or sexual orientation, hormonal makeup, or anything like that, right? Okay. So you still can be male assigned at birth.
Yeah.
Trans female, but still attracted to women.
Okay.
Right. So it has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. It's just your internal, what you identify with.
Right.
Queer, it's just for people of marginalized gender identities and sexual orientations. So whoever is not cisgender, heterosexual are part of the queer community.
Okay.
It used to be a slur, and maybe some people still do. So we always got to refer back to what individual people want to be referred to and referred by. I think that's really important. So, yeah, we know cisgender, gender identity, all of those types of things. Sex assigned at birth, we already know. Transition, it's their process of developing and assuming a gender expression to match their gender identity. So it can include coming out, whether it's to family, friends, coworkers. It could be changing their names. It could be hormone therapy, could be surgery. So everybody transitions sort of differently.
So transitioning doesn't necessarily mean the two more extreme steps.
No.
It could just be that a male dresses as a female and that's part of their transition process is
part of their gender expression.
Gender expression. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It could be part of that. Transsexual is very similar to transgender. Transsexual usually is what involves a hormonal or surgical transition.
Okay.
Yeah. Agender. Have you heard of agender before? There's a lot. And just so you know, this list is not, because I just came across terms the other day that I won't include here because there's so many. But I'll give the link and people can kind of go through. I had never heard of a lot of these. So
I don't know what agender is.
So a lot of agender people are trans. So it's really an umbrella encompassing different genders of people who don't have a gender or they're gender neutral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like asexual,
Yeah.
agender, AFAB, AMAB. So those are just acronyms. So AFAB, assigned female
Female birth,
or
male
male at
birth.
birth. Yeah.
Okay.
Ally, someone who's supporting
Yeah.
the community. Aromantic, so just not romantically attracted to people. Asexual, so
Just not sexually attracted to people. I think I'm getting the hang of this.
yeah, you got it. Bigender,
They're down with whoever.
well, they identify as two genders.
Oh,
Yeah, so bigender, they identify both as male, female, or multigender,
okay.
or two-spirit. The ter of it should not be confused with two-spirit, which is specifically associated with Native American and First Nation cultures.
Okay.
Binary, this is it only encompasses two options. So it's used as an adjective to describe the genders female, male, or woman, man.
Yeah.
So we know that. Bisexuality, that's where you're interested in
In
more than
both.
one gender. Yeah. There's also pansexual, fluid, omnisexual, queer. Butch, identity or presentation related to masculinity. It could be an adjective, like she's a butch woman.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a verb, so he went home to butch up. And it could be a noun where you identify as a butch. So it's associated with masculine, queer, lesbian women,
Yeah.
but it can be used to describe distinct gender identity or expression. I'm gonna scroll. There's so many different pieces. Gender fluid is also changing your gender identity. So you're fluid between those two things. So LGBTQIAPP plus, things are changing all the time.
I was just gonna say that's way longer than I remember.
I know. Well, it was always LGBTQ, and then
Yeah.
it was 2AI plus. But so this one is lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, aromantic, pansexual, polysexual. But it can be abbreviated to LGBT or LGBTQ plus.
Okay.
Monosexual. So it's orientations directed to one gender, or multiple genders would be multisexual or non-monosexual. This is getting to be a lot.
This is a lot.
Yeah. Pansexual is being attracted to many or any genders.
Okay.
Omnisexual can be used the same way.
So I guess what's the distinction between the two? Like, why have two terms for essentially the same thing then?
Yeah, I think pansexual, it's just used more frequently
Oh, okay.
because people just acknowledge that gender is not binary. So, yeah, polysexual, you're just capable of being attracted to multiple genders. Stealth, to not be openly transgender in all or most social situations.
Hmm. And that applies just to transgender, not necessarily someone that hasn't come out yet. Like it wouldn't be applied to someone that's not like transitioning or anything. They're not identifying as a gay person.
Or well, it's not gay,
That's
but
what I'm asking. Like it's
yeah,
just exclusively for trans.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not to be openly. Yeah, Two-Spirit is Indigenous gender identities in North America. Packing. Do you know what packing is?
I think I'm about to find out.
Wearing a penile prosthetic.
So pre-transition or just as part of
Uh, well,
just in general?
whether they are pre-transition or not, I'm not sure. Anyway, there's more. Like I heard schoolie, yeah, there's so many words I don't even know, but I'll put this up. They try to update these definitions if you're interested. I think the big thing, is just being open and supportive.
Yeah.
I would love to I do have a couple of colleagues who are professionals here, but it's sometimes tricky to nail them down,
Mhm.
to chat about this. But the first step is just being open. And whether we're talking about anything, it could be their video games, right? Just it could be about, yeah, it could be about their sexuality or gender identity. It's just about being open to whatever it is that our kids bring with us and being able to inhibit our first initial reactive, emotional reactive response
Yeah.
and respond with curiosity. And, I'm really interested in hearing more, right? And then more about your experience.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first thing is just whatever our kids are bringing to us, that they're feeling heard and understood and valued and validated.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the big thing, right? Like, that's one of the things we've tried to convey to the girls is that, there's a level of respect that needs to be held for anybody you encounter, right? And that's part of it, right? In terms of as you encounter people at whatever part of their own stage of life or journey or whatever, it's up to you to do your best to understand it, and then in a way that's the supportive component, right? So, and I do think there's a massive component where you need to kind of understand where they're coming from and understand to a large degree what it is specifically that they need. I think you said it earlier, right? Like you need to ask them what they need and then do your best to accommodate, right?
Yeah. It's really interesting because I know I've worked, and I'm sure I've talked about these families before, but I've got a range of families where some it's the parents who are coming out and realizing I think I might be bisexual or I
Hmm.
might be gay or, who do wear drag, right? Or whatnot. So it's really interesting seeing some of the transitions. I think now, especially with the older generations, there's a lot more openness and acceptance. And then I've got families where as soon as babies can start talking, the toddlers can start talking, they're like, why are you calling me a boy? Like I'm a girl,
Yeah.
right? Like they just know that they've always been a girl,
Yeah.
right? And I think that those kiddos, it just seems, I don't know, maybe it's just the families, but it just seems that those families seem to be able to embrace it a little bit easier and help, their child grow and develop in whatever gender
Well, I think
they identify
part of
with.
it is probably the fact that the kid being so younger, there's less time for everybody else to form their own opinion of who that person is, right?
Okay.
So they're defining it themselves as they're growing up. So everybody else has to understand that definition, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot more challenging when you have someone who is later in life, because then not only are you trying to, I guess, express in the situation of the person that's making the transition or making, you know, whatever proclamation it is, they themselves have to come to grips with the fact that they're not who they've defined themselves to be for so long. And then everybody else has to, right? And a lot of people aren't good at that sort of change. So it just makes it more challenging.
And I do think it was interesting just watching our girls grow up. There was so much, like especially, every TV show and every major character that she looked up, female character that she loved, in pretty much every show she watched growing up in early
Yeah.
elementary were gay.
Yeah.
And so she really, I mean, she would just, she didn't know. And I really talked with her about feelings and things like that. Like now she's very clear
Yeah.
about what her orientation is, but her and her friends, like I think that it's just normal. Like you can like girls, you can like boys, that
Yeah.
you can just like until they actually started actually developing feelings. I think little kids are still just, and I love that they're
Yeah.
just open, that we can all love each other. But then once they realize, right,
Yeah.
once they start having those attractive feelings, they do start. So I would say sort of that middle school, upper elementary, middle school, I think kids really start, a lot of the kids I've worked with anyways, really start understanding quite a bit more.
Yeah.
I think what's really tricky are my older teenagers and young adults, where they're now identifying as trans or whatever changes they are making, the parents are like, no.
Yeah.
Like I find parents are having a really hard time with those older kids because they believe that they're so influenced by the world. And I would say probably because we
Yeah.
have had this
Yeah, totally.
conversation before. But yeah, I do find that.
But again, that's the parent's definition being challenged,
Yeah.
right? Because they're not separating what they see as the definition with what the person themselves sees as the definition. And that's where the breakdown comes.
It is tricky. I mean, for, supporting the kids on their journey, but I also know I came across, I'll try to find it to link it to the show notes, but I have come across research recently where they found 40% of individuals who actually go through surgery
Yeah.
regret it later.
Wow.
And that's
It's a big percentage.
to go through all of the hormonal pieces and just everything like that. That's always, yeah, how do you know for sure, right? But
Yeah.
but I also don't want to stop because we know the younger they start hormone therapy and, go down that trajectory, the more successes that
Yep.
they're going to have as well, right? So I do know that it's tricky, but anyway, I thought this could be a little bit of
No, it's a good definition and it's a good kind of walkthrough of it.
yeah, just a little bit of psycho ed and just being open and
Yeah.
learning more. I'll put it's the trans student educational resources that I pulled this from, and they update the definitions quite often. So I'll put that up there and
Sounds
if
good.
people are interested.
Awesome.
Good day.
Good day.